Hello, this is Emmy, and welcome, friends, to another session of Brain Yoga and Zen with Emmy. Oh, we're going to have such a good time today. I've got some fun planned for you, some more spring things to do, and we're going to work on another spring, or you could do this any time of the year, of course. But this is a bookmark that we're going to make again today. That said, you can make this any way you choose. That's the beauty of Zentangle. If you can do these shapes, which I know you can, if you can make my stick person in any way, that's Zentangle. Zen, get your Zen on, and zone, like Zen with Emmy, haha. And tangling, which is putting patterns together in a new way. And Zentangle is meant to be no mistakes and just enjoy yourself. And now let's talk about the materials that we need today. Today I'm going off script, and usually Zentangle is white with black or black with white and gray with your shading. And today I've grabbed a piece of cardstock. This is the kind 12 by 12 that scrapbookers use. It has a fun pattern on the back too, which I think is just perfect for a bookmark. If you happen to have anything on hand that you would enjoy using, feel free to grab it. I did end up cutting a piece of it off that's 7 by about 2.5, which I think is a good bookmark size. But that said, you sure can cut it any size that you feel your bookmark needs to be or could be. My other materials, I usually have an eraser around, even though that's not what Zentangle is. Zentangle is not using erasers usually. And I will also use my Micron pen, archival ink, and 01 is the size that I'm most comfortable with for most of my projects. I'm going to use my blender stump, which is also called a tortillon. If I don't happen to have that handy, I am just as comfortable using a Q-tip or my finger to smudge, and I am always smudging pencil. So the pencil I'm going to use today is my 4B, which is my Zentangle pencil, a very soft lead. I've also got on hand this charcoal white, and I'm going to use that a little bit, but I don't have to. So if you don't have this, don't worry about it. It won't matter in the least. You will do a fine job with whatever you have on hand, and you'll see how much fun and how easy this is to do. Now, there is one thing that I did do, and I divided my bookmark in half with my ruler, long ways. Then I also divided with a mark in pencil, in the lightest pencil, in half and each quarter. And I end up with something, and I'm going to go right to where we're going with this pattern here. I'm going to go right to that pattern and show you how to do this. So I've already divided this bookmark in half, and I worked on that side, which was center, the best I could. And then I did eyeball these 4 directional marks. So we're going to do some Zentangling together and get our Zen on, and I'm excited to share with you. It will be a replica of what I've done here. So I hope you enjoy this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use each of these 4 corners that I dotted to aim for. And I'm going to create, it has little rabbit ears here. And then I'm going to go on the inside of each. And I'm going to turn my paper, my bookmark. I'm going to do this again. I'd like this kind of to be nice and wide, so if yours is wider, I think you'll probably like that. But do this as many times as you want to get your good result that makes you happy with your job today. No mistakes. Just a big rice grain. And precisely, this is the C that you saw on the 5 Zentangle patterns. Zentangle is such a forgiving hobby. I hope you really enjoy it too. So I'm going to eyeball here, put dots in each corner, again to aim for, and then I'm going to go around again. If I keep my work in front of me, I'm a lot happier with how it looks. Now, you need to do what's right for you, of course. Coming around. That's my cuckoo clock. My little girl gave that to me when she was pretty much a little girl and went with a local camp to Europe singing. And then this one seems to me to be a little bit long, but I like that look. So the next thing I want to do with this is I want to do a pattern called Perk. And what I'm going to do is fill in within the rice grain that I've already made. And I'm going to fill in real tight like this. And then I darken all these little divots on both sides. And then I'm also, in a minute, going to do this pattern called Flux. Flux is just a fun pattern. You come out like this and go back around, do it again and again, and then you come back and give it a little treatment that gives you a little bit of direction. So, and you can make as many of these as you want, and it becomes quite a fun pattern. And the last one that we will also be working on today is Muka. So that's a stick, and you see I brought that all the way around, and then I'm going to darken inside of it, leaving a little tiny bit of light in some area. Now this is going to look a lot different on your bookmark because you have a little better quality of paper, but it's always good to practice, I think. And then I will make this fescue too, and I think you'll be able to see how to do that pretty easily. So I'm going to come along here and make a series of orbs. Squeeze them in. Tightly. And how big yours are is of course going to depend on how big you made these rice grains. So once I have that created, I'm going to put that flux in between each, kind of like I did over here. And then come back, give it that little treatment, which kind of really helps with the flow, I think. So what next thing I'm going to do is that wide muka. I think this is just the prettiest pattern. Come along here. Darken it in. Leave a little bit of light. And this time I'm gonna, one of Zentangle things is to go through and behind and give the illusion of going behind and make my fun muka. Now, I'm going to put a few of those tiny little fescues here periodically throughout. Kind of a filler, like a florist would. You can see I'm just being quite random. And that is so cute. So I have a little more that I want to do here. One of the things I really like to do is do some darkening behind in some places along here for some more drama. You see, I'm taking that corner off in that spot there. I'll take it off in this one too. I'm going to take that whole corner out of this one. So I'm working really lightly with my pen. I'm just tickling the paper. So the next thing I want to do is get my blender stump and my pencil, and I'm holding it on the side. I'm not holding it like a writing instrument this time. Well, what I'm going to come along and do is add a very light amount of shading in the form of kind of a half smile at the bottom part of each of these orbs that I made. Sorry, lost myself and having so much fun here zenning. I like to get all of my shading, my pencil on first, because then I can go back all at once and smudge them all. And I prefer to do that just so that this is, I don't have to pick my pencil up and put it down, pick it up, put it down. And it's your choice. How do you feel about it is your choice. I'm also, see, I'm putting some in the middle of that flux leaf. And now that I've got that straight, I'm going to come back with my blender stump and I'm going to smudge that gray all the way around wherever I laid that pencil on. And I'll end up with quite a lot of shading on these on my blender stump, the gray there. And so if I've missed anything, that's going to work real well for me. I won't even have to worry about grabbing the pencil again.
Soften the smudge. Continue on.
Isn't that fun? It looks so cute. Okay, so I had told you that I was going to use my white pencil. And here it is, and I am going to use it. See how I used it over here? All I did was just in the lightest way possible. I put just a dab of white. It doesn't show up quite as well on this one as it did on my other one because this one is definitely on the smaller side. I also did just a little bit of white along here. Now, if you happen to have a Prisma, that Prisma pencil in white, that would work every bit as well as my charcoal. See how that lightens that up right there? It's really quite neat. It just softens it just enough. Might be something you'd like to try and just have some fun with. And if it doesn't work for you, please don't worry about it. Or if you don't have one, also, don't worry about it. I'm also, when I finish this, I'm going to put a little of the white in each of those flux patterns that I have, and also in the Muka pattern here. See how I'm giving that a little bit of a lift too. Awesome. I hope you enjoyed this project. The last thing I'd like you to do is remember to put your initials on here. I'd like you to be sure to turn it over, and maybe you don't want to write in the middle of it, March or whatever month or whenever it is that you're doing this. And I would like to leave you with a wonderful phrase that I think highly of. I am so glad friends don't come with price tags, because I could never afford the wonderful friends I have. And that includes you, friends. I hope you've enjoyed our video. If you have, please like it. And it would be so nice if you'd subscribe to the YouTube channel so that I could bring you more things. I have so many exciting things to teach you about. So I hope to see you again soon. Bye.